Two golden beams pierced heaven. The gods trembled. Born from stone, destined for chaos. This is the rise of Sun Wukong. How did a playful monkey become a king, a disciple, and eventually a threat to the heavens? The answer starts here.
With a single somersault, Sun Wukong rode his cloud and arrived over the flower fruit mountain in less than an hour. The handsome Monkey King couldn't help but marvel to himself. When I left, my mortal flesh was heavy. Now, enlightened, my body is light. None in this world dare to aspire, yet with true resolve, the mystic path becomes clear. Once, crossing the sea was a struggle. Today, my return is effortless. Their parting words still ring in my ears, and in the blink of an eye, I'm back in the eastern lands. He descended to the mountain, but instead of cheerful greetings, he heard only the mournful cries of cranes and apes. "My children," he called out, "I've returned." Suddenly, from behind rocks, beneath flowers, and among the trees, countless monkeys came leaping forth, surrounding their king. They kowtowed and cried, "Great king, how could you stay away so long? We've waited and waited. Lately, a wicked demon has tried to seize our water curtain cave. We fought desperately to hold him off, barely keeping our home. If you hadn't returned, we and our mountain would have been lost." Wukong's heart burned with rage. What vile creature dares such insolence? Tell me everything, and I'll make him pay. The monkeys bowed again. "Oh, great king, he calls himself the Demon King of Chaos and dwells north of here. How far is his lair?" Wukong asked. "He comes and goes on clouds and mist, with wind or rain, thunder or lightning. We don't know the distance." Wukong nodded. "Then fear no more. Stay here while I hunt him down." With a mighty leap, the Monkey King soared into the sky, flipping through the clouds until he reached the northern lands. Below him loomed a towering mountain, jagged and treacherous. He landed lightly and spotted a few little demons dancing near a cave entrance. Stepping forward, Wukong called out, "Listen well and carry my words to your master. I am the ruler of the Water Curtain Cave on Flower Fruit Mountain. Your so-called Demon King of Chaos has been bullying my subjects, and I've come to settle the score." Terrified, the little demons scurried into the cave, shouting, "Your Majesty, trouble's here. A monkey outside claims to be the lord of the Water Curtain Cave. He says you've harassed his people and demands a fight." The Demon King chuckled. "Ah, I've heard those monkeys babble about a king who left to seek immortality. So he's finally returned? What's he wearing? What weapon does he carry?" "Just a red robe, bareheaded. No priest or immortal's robes, and he's empty-handed. No weapon at all," the demon replied. Arming himself with a gleaming broadsword and donning his battle armor, the Demon King of Chaos marched out with his minions. "Which of you is the Water Curtain Cave's master?" he bellowed. Wukong narrowed his eyes. The demon stood 3 times his height, with a waist thick as a barrel, gripping a blade sharp enough to split the wind. "You've got eyes the size of moons, can't you see me?" the Monkey King retorted. The demon roared with laughter. "You're barely 4 feet tall, younger than 30, and unarmed. How dare you challenge me?" Wukong scowled at the demon. "You think I'm small? I could grow as tall as the sky if I wished. And though I have no weapon, don't be too relieved. Just try taking a punch from me." The handsome Monkey King and the Demon King of Chaos clashed, trading blows back and forth, neither gaining the upper hand. Seeing the demon's ferocity, Wukong plucked a handful of hairs from his arm, blew on them, and cried, "Change!" In an instant, 200 or 300 tiny monkeys sprang to life. For when one attains immortality, even the smallest part of them holds magic. Ever since his training, each of Wukong's 84,000 hairs could transform at will. These new little monkeys were quick and clever, dodging every swing of the demon's blade. They swarmed around him, leaping and darting, some clinging to his legs, others tugging at his arms, a few even pinching his nose or poking at his eyes. The Demon King of Chaos staggered, overwhelmed and helpless. Seizing the moment, Wukong snatched the demon's own sword and, swish, with one clean stroke, ended the battle. Then, leading his troop of tiny monkeys, he stormed the cave, defeated every last demon inside, and set the lair ablaze. With a final chant, he gathered his army and whisked them all back to the safety of the water curtain cave. The monkeys quickly arranged themselves in orderly rows, bowing respectfully to their triumphant king. A feast was prepared, sweet fruits and fine wines to celebrate his glorious return. With a contented smile, Wukong addressed his subjects. When I left you all those years ago, I journeyed across distant seas until I met a great master. He taught me the secrets of eternal life, powers as boundless as the heavens themselves. The monkeys chattered excitedly, their eyes shining with admiration. And now, Wukong continued, we all share something special, a family name. What name, great king? They cried. From this day forward, I am Sun Wukong, he declared. Sun like the sun above, and Wukong awakened to emptiness. Delighted, the monkeys clapped their hands. If our king is old sun, then we are second sun, third sun, little sun, tiny sun, a whole family of suns, a kingdom of suns, a nest full of suns. Laughing, they raised their cups and toasts, feasting late into the night, one happy family, united under the name of Sun. After defeating the Chaos Demon King, Sun Wukong claimed the monster's great blade as his own. But he knew his monkey subjects needed proper weapons too. So he ordered them to train, sharpening bamboo into spears, carving wood into swords, and raising banners as they practiced their drills. One day, a thought struck him. If the kings of men or beasts hear of our training, they may see us as rebels and send armies to crush us. How can we defend ourselves with nothing but sticks? He needed real weapons, and fast. When he shared his worries, a few elder monkeys spoke up. Great king, there is a way. Just 200 miles east, beyond the sea, lies the kingdom of Al-Lai. Its ruler has armories filled with weapons of every kind. If you go, you could bring back enough for us all. Delighted, Wukong somersaulted on his cloud and arrived in an instant. Silently, he slipped into the city, unseen by any guard, until he found the royal armory. Inside, rows of gleaming swords, spears, and axes stood ready. With a grin, he plucked a hair, chewed it lightly, and blew it into the air. Change. At once, hundreds of tiny monkeys materialized, swarming the armory. The strongest carried 6 or 7 weapons each. The smallest managed 2 or 3. In moments, the vault was empty. Then, with a whispered spell, Wukong and his tiny helpers soared back to Flower Fruit Mountain on a cushion of mist. There, he distributed the weapons to his cheering subjects, ensuring their kingdom would never be defenseless again. The next day, Sun Wukong gathered his subjects. now a mighty force of 47,000 monkeys, all armed and trained. Their growing strength had drawn the attention of the mountain's other creatures, who came to pay their respects, pledging loyalty and offering tribute each year. The handsome Monkey King had become their undisputed ruler. One afternoon, as the monkeys practiced their drills, Wukong examined his own blade and sighed. "You've all mastered your weapons, but this one no longer suits me. Surely there must be something greater out there." 4 elder monkeys stepped forward. "Great King, you are a sage of unmatched power, but tell us, can you journey beneath the waves?" Wukong laughed. "Since attaining the Dalt, I've mastered 72 transformations, soared on clouds across the heavens, and walked through earth and fire untouched. Water cannot drown me, nor flames burn me. There is no place beyond my reach." The elders nodded. "Then the solution is simple. Beneath our iron plank bridge lies a path to the Dragon King's palace in the Eastern Sea. If you visit His Majesty, he will surely grant you a weapon worthy of your might." Delighted, Wukong waved a hand. "Then I'll pay him a visit at once." The magnificent Monkey King performed a water-repelling spell, and with a soft splash, dove beneath the waves. The ocean parted before him as he made his way toward the Eastern Sea Dragon Palace. As he traveled through the watery depths, a patrolling sea spirit stopped him. "Mighty One who parts the waters," the spirit asked politely, "may I know your divine name so I may properly announce you to our Dragon King?" "I am Sun Wukong, the heaven-born sage from Flower Fruit Mountain," the Monkey King replied. "As your Dragon King's closest neighbor, I'm surprised he hasn't mentioned me." The sea spirit hurried to the Crystal Palace to deliver the message. "Your Majesty," he reported, "there's a heaven-born sage named Sun Wukong from Flower Fruit Mountain approaching. He claims to be your neighbor." Hearing this, Aoguang, the Dragon King of the Eastern Sea, immediately rose from his throne. Gathering his dragon princes, grandchildren, and all his shrimp soldiers and crab generals, he went out to properly welcome this unexpected guest. Once inside the palace, Wukong explained his quest for a worthy weapon. The Dragon King, not wishing to refuse, first ordered a great broadsword brought forth. "I am afraid I've never been skilled with blades," Wukong said politely. "Might you have something else?" The Dragon King then commanded his officers to present a 9-pronged fork, carried with effort by 2 strong fish guards. Wukong took it, twirled it once, then set it down with a shake of his head. "Too light, far too light, but immortal," the Dragon King protested. "This fork weighs 3,600 pounds. It doesn't suit my hand," Wukong insisted. Growing uneasy, the Dragon King next had his sturgeon generals bring out a massive halberd, a magnificent weapon weighing 7,200 pounds. Wukong tested its balance, swinging it a few times before sighing. "Still too light." The Dragon King wrung his hands. "This is the heaviest weapon in all my ocean halls. There is nothing greater." Wukong chuckled. "They say, never doubt the Dragon King's treasures. Surely you can look again." "Truly," the Dragon King admitted, "nothing remains." Just then, the Dragon Queen and her daughter emerged from behind the curtain and whispered, "Your Majesty, this immortal sage is clearly no ordinary visitor. That divine iron pillar from the heavenly river in our treasury has been glowing with radiant light and auspicious aura these past few days. Could it be destined for this very sage?" Dragon King replied thoughtfully, "That was the measuring rod used by Great Wu to regulate the floods. a sacred piece of iron meant to determine the depths of rivers and seas. Would it suit his purpose? Whether it suits him or not matters little, the Dragon Queen advised gently. Let us offer it to him and allow him to reshape it as he pleases. Taking his wife's counsel, the old Dragon King turned to Wukong and explained about this special treasure. Wukong's eyes sparkled with curiosity. Might I see this treasure? He asked. The Dragon King shook his head gently. It cannot be carried nor lifted. You must come see it yourself. Lead the way, Wukong replied. The Dragon King guided him deep into the ocean treasury, where suddenly a glorious golden glow illuminated the waters. There, pointed the Dragon King, where the golden light shines. Wukong approached and reached out his hand. His fingers touched an enormous iron pillar, thick as a barrel and nearly 20 feet tall. With mighty effort, he grasped it with both hands. If only you were smaller and slimmer, he murmured wistfully. To his delight, the pillar immediately shrank several feet and became much thinner. Overjoyed, Wukong examined his new treasure more closely. The magnificent rod had golden bands at each end, with dark iron between them. Along its surface gleamed magical characters that read, Rui Zingu Bang, 500 pounds. Wukong's heart leapt. A treasure that obeys one's wishes, he thought. As he walked, he continued whispering, smaller still would be perfect. By the time they reached the palace gates, the staff had shrunk to a manageable 12 feet, now just the width of a rice bowl. Sun Wukong stepped back into the crystal palace, twirling his magnificent golden-hooped staff. The Dragon King trembled at the sight, while the dragon princes and grandchildren shrank back in awe. Even the turtles, fish, and shrimp tucked their heads into their shells, overcome by the display of power. Seating himself comfortably on the palace throne, Wukong smiled at the Dragon King. I thank you, kind neighbor, for this generous gift. It was nothing, truly, the Dragon King replied nervously. This staff is perfect, Wukong continued, but now that I have it, I realize something is missing. And what might that be, great sage? Asked the Dragon King. Well, now that I wield such a fine weapon, my plain robes no longer suit me. If you happen to have any fine armor to spare, I'd be most grateful. The Dragon King paled. I'm afraid I have no such treasure here. Wukong chuckled. They say a guest shouldn't trouble two hosts. If you won't give me armor, I may never leave. Perhaps you could visit another ocean kingdom? The Dragon King suggested weakly. Why travel when one palace can provide? Wukong countered. I insist. Just one set of armor, and I'll be on my way. The Dragon King wrung his hands. I truly have none to offer. If I did, I would gladly present it. Wukong gave his golden staff a playful twirl. If you truly have nothing to offer, he mused, perhaps we should test the staff's power together. The Dragon King's scales went pale. No need for that, great sage. Let me consult my brothers. Perhaps they have what you seek. Your brothers? Wukong tilted his head. Indeed, all Jin of the southern sea, all Shun of the northern sea, and all Run of the western sea, the Dragon King explained hurriedly. No need for you to travel. We have a simpler way. He gestured to an iron drum and golden bell in the corner. In urgent matters, one strike summons them instantly. Wukong's eyes gleamed. Then, by all means, he said, leaning on his staff, let the drum roll. Soon after the bell and drum sounded, the Dragon Kings of the southern, western, and northern seas arrived together. Why the urgent summons, brother? Asked Ao-Ching. The Eastern Dragon King sighed. A heavenly sage from Flower Fruit Mountain came first as a neighbor, then asked for a weapon. He refused both the trident and halberd as too light, until we gave him that divine iron pillar from the heavenly river. Now he demands armor. Having none, I called you brothers. Ao-Ching's eyes flashed with anger. Let us gather our forces and capture him. Impossible, the Eastern Dragon King exclaimed. That golden staff of his brings death with the slightest touch. A graze breaks skin, a nix snaps tendons. Auron of the West Sea advised calmly, Brother, don't provoke him. Let's just give him armor and send him on his way. Then we can report this to the Jade Emperor. Heaven will deal with him. Shun of the North added, I've brought a golden chainmail armor, and I have a phoenix-winged crown, offered Ao-Ching. Relieved, the Eastern Dragon King led them to Wukong. The Monkey King happily donned the golden crown, armor, and cloud-walking boots. Swirling his staff joyfully, he took his leave. The 4 Dragon Kings, though displeased, could only discuss reporting this to heaven. But that's a tale for another night. The glorious Monkey King emerged from the watery path beneath the iron plank bridge, not a single drop clinging to his radiant form. The waiting monkeys gasped in awe, falling to their knees in admiration. "O great king, how magnificent, how splendid," they cried. Beaming with joy, Wukong ascended his throne and planted the golden hooped staff upright before them. Curious monkeys, unaware of its true nature, rushed forward to lift it, but none could even budge it from the ground. They shook their heads in wonder, whispering, "Grandfather, how could you possibly carry something so heavy?" With a playful twinkle in his eye, Wukong addressed his subjects. Every treasure has its destined master. For centuries, this lay hidden in the ocean depths, waiting until its golden light shone just for me. The Dragon King thought it mere iron. None in his court could move it until I came. He stroked the staff lovingly. When I first beheld it, this stood 20 feet tall, thick as a barrel. But at my command, he paused dramatically. It shrinks and grows as I wish. Tracing the engraved characters, he read, Rui Zingu Bonk, 13,500 pounds. Now stand back, little ones, and watch its magic unfold. With a playful grin, Wukong balanced the golden staff in his palm. Smaller, 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 he whispered. Like magic, it shrank until it resembled a tiny sewing needle, which he tucked behind his ear. The monkeys gasped in delight. "Show us again," they pleaded. Obliging them, he retrieved the needle and placed it on his palm. "Grow, grow, grow." At his command, it swelled back to its full glory, thick as a barrel and 20 feet tall. Overcome with joy, Wukong bounded outside. "Taller!" he cried, and suddenly he towered like a mountain, his head brushing the clouds, eyes sparkling like lightning. His mighty staff stretched between heaven and earth, so awe-inspiring that every creature in the mountains trembled and bowed. After this wonderful display, Wukong returned to normal size, tucking his needle-like staff safely away. Word of his power spread, and soon he befriended 6 remarkable kings: the Bull Demon King, the Dragon King, the Rock King, the Lion King, the Macaque King, and the Golden Furred King. Together, they became the 7 great kings of the mountain realms. One glorious day, Wukong hosted a magnificent feast in his waterfall cave for all his new friends. There was music and laughter under the moonlight. But as the old saying goes, when joy reaches its peak, sorrow may follow. And so our tale pauses here, on the edge of new adventures.